Good morning and welcome back to Old School Studios. I'm getting a coat of primer on this wood down here, and I'm gonna paint it with a top coat, but I want to get some kind of paint edge to edge before I put the countertop in, because it's gonna never be easier than it is right now without the countertop to get the coat of paint on here. So now that I'm painted edge to edge, I'm going to catch the fronts of these, and then I'm going to work on putting this countertop in. And oh, thank God it's Friday. And this will be top coated. And nobody will ever know. So we just went in the back of the building and went into a unit that these people lived in for under a year. Completely tore up. They smoked so much, all the base, all the white trim molding is yellow from smoke. Holes punched in the doors. I should have filmed it. What else? They left furniture in it, and they paid a window guy to remove the window of our building so they could put a couch in a big giant chair. And when they left, due to non-payment, they left the couch in the chair that we can't get out. So we're going to have to chop them apart with a Sawzall just to get them out of our building. Then we went into another unit down in the basement of the building, and they left, or they didn't leave, they moved to a different apartment in the building, but they never even cleaned up. They left food all over the floor, which brings in rodents. Not that we have any rodents, but you get bugs. And I tell you what, man, these people in Cleveland need to get their shit together. They need to get their shit together. They need to be held accountable and get their shit together. Alright, just like that. Slid that baby right in. Fit like a glove. Minimal scratching again. Alright, so I'm gonna work on getting these this drain in. We use plumber's putty, and we're gonna clean up the old sink basket. It's not that old, not even a year old. It's a $20 basket. It's better than your typical one, so I'm going to clean all this off here, reinstall it in the new sink, hook up my hot and cold, and I should be right back in business. So I'll be back in a flash. Alright, with this plumber's putty, you want to get yourself out some. It's like Play-Doh. Get yourself some out. I like to take it from the bottom. Knead it up like bread dough, Play-Doh. Alright, so on this inner lip, you want to put like a bead. All the way around. Put a nice bead of putty. Alright, so now that it's on there, as you crank this tight, all the leftover schmutz will pull out. I'll be right back. Okay, so looking under here, we want to pull some of this off so it doesn't get in our way. Just reach under there, scoop it right off there. Alright, so now this has a paper washer, a rubber washer, this sleeve, and it goes on just like this. Alright, I'm going to get my wrench and give that a crank, and this will all squeeze out and leave just the right amount. Let's see here if I could do this with one hand. Alright, you get the gist. I'm going to tighten this up off camera. But on the inside here now, you could peel this and make sure that your drain is centered in this little dent. And now you could really tighten this down and this will still squeeze out. Alright, so when you're putting the drain together, it has this little washer that looks like a T. This goes down into that. Let me see if I can get this. Alright, this goes down in there. I could turn this. The gold one comes up, sandwiching that little T. Make sure we don't strip this. Come on, with my right hand. There we go. And this one goes down in compressions. I'm gonna make sure all these are tight. That one's tight. That one's tight. That one's tight. This one's tight. And now I want to make sure that this one is tight. Alright, as tight as could be. Alright, now I'm going to reach back up in here and do my hot and cold lines. Oh, I never cranked these on. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so we're about ready to turn the water on, and the one thing I always want to do is remove this aerator, because once you disturb a water line, you get sediment, and the last thing you want is your brand new aerator to be clogged with schmutz. Alright, so I'm going to turn the water on now. Alright. And see how that black stuff would have ended up in the aerator. Gonna let this flow for a couple seconds here. Alright, I'm going to put the aerator back in, give it a full send, and make sure I don't have any leaks underneath. What, we got another poop dumper? We have poop dumper? Nope, she didn't dump the poop. No shit. Alright, now my water is flowing nicely. I'm gonna make sure I got no leaks under here. Let's see, cold water, no leaks. Hot water, no leaks. The drain, no leaks. Alright. After the hot water runs for a little while, I could go ahead and give everything a tightening down below. Hot water seems to loosen everything up, especially in the winter months when you pull everything out of your car and it's cold. Two. I'm going to actually fill this sink up and let some heat and pressure get on there and give it a full send, and we're going to do our timing. Alright. Alright, here we go, folks. Yeah, Sucker Zulu. Alright, so these are the side splashes. They fit right on for the most part. And I glue these and silicone these. And I make sure that this little creep seam right here is silicone so no water ever escapes. And I make sure that this little seam is silicone so no water ever escapes if it like runs back behind or what have you. Filling the sink up one more time. I'm going to glue down the top with the weight of the water in the sink and glue my side splashes up, and I'll take it from there. Alright, this thing is glued, screwed, side splashes in place. When this all dries, I could put my bead of silicone. I need to get the fourth hole butt plug. I don't have one, they're at Lowe's. And just like that, folks. Alright, so I got this floor swept out, and I got a piece of glue on here that's not completely gravy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a piece 8 foot going this way, actually it's 81 inches, and from under this toe kick 4 feet out, and that just leaves me 2 little patches back behind here, and that's where the stove and fridge go, so that's the best place for a seam. So here's my first mark. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then I'm going to get my measurements for these little bump outs and get those cut, and these 2 little water lines. There's one leaving and one coming in, and I need slots for that to slide under there. So this piece is always tricky. I'll be back when I got it down. Alright, my piece is in. I got 2 little pieces back here. This all needs glued and screwed. I have to go find some screws out in the truck, the right length. Another tube of liquid nails, shoot it around the perimeter. A couple dablets out in the middle. It's best to put the seam out there. Like I said, this is the stove and this is the refrigerator, so once the linoleum goes over top of that, that'll really never be touched again for many, many years. So, without further ado.
It's narrated by Catherine Linda. It's online, it's free to watch, and in every way it was produced especially for this audience. It's why it's exclusively over at rushlimbaugh.com. And you know, I want you to know something about this. It's important. If you're missing...
Alright, so I'm glued and screwed. It's nice and tight, nice and flat, level. Ready for some linoleum. Ready for linoleum. I should go try to find a piece of linoleum. Although I should probably wait till the floor is in, because this might go out a little further. Alright. One more thing down off of my list. There we have it. Alright, so I went down, found me a piece of linoleum down in the boiler room, and I fit it in here. Still a little coily, but it'll end up laying flat. And I'll probably pull up half of it Monday and paint on some adhesive and then lay it in, and then I could come over and pull up the other half, paint on some adhesive and lay it in, and then this gets black cove molding going all the way around, black rubber cove molding. So there we go, one more step closer to being finished. Linoleum looks nice, it matches our floors. Alright. Oh, there's Poop Lady. There she is, picking up the poop. Get it? Get it? Look around. Cross the street, because you're going to have to throw it in the dumpster. Act like you don't have poop in your hand. Oh, crossing the street. There she comes. Wait for it. Wait for it. You poop dumper. Alright folks, thank you for watching Old School Studios. Please hit like and subscribe. Have a good day.